Institutional support. In terms of institutional support, what I include in here is government, colleges, university, and corporations. I think the city's done a great job. It's one of the more active government organizations that I've seen in entrepreneurship just about everywhere. Thanks to the mayor and his team, Robert, others, very involved, very supportive. They vote with their feet. By the way, if you haven't noticed, most of these things don't cost money, right? Most of these things are just standing up and doing things, but they show up, like today. I would like to see the city get a little bit more involved in talent. I think that whole talent thing can be kind of rethought and kind of supersized, and I think that's a great role for government and colleges to get involved in. I had great chats with what I call the Phils. That's Phil Ashman, right? And Phil Barker and team at Okanagan College and UBCO. I'd love to see you guys work even tighter with this community and work on some of the things we just talked about. Be unique. Don't just run the same old playbook. Figure out how you can take your students and get them totally integrated into this community and vice versa. There's a really good opportunity there. Figure out how to do talent matching on steroids. In terms of corporations, I don't think we really are doing much here. There's lots of ways corporations, existing entities, can play a role in the startup ecosystem. First and foremost, there could be mentors in there. Secondly, they can serve as first customers for a lot of the companies. Every entrepreneur struggles with figuring out how to find their first customers. The local corporations are something that every city has that no one else has. No one has these sets of corporations in their city, right? So how do we build a tighter connection? And then obviously money. Smart, forward-thinking executives at large corporations understand that a great startup ecosystem is a source of eventual talent for some of their own needs. You start your company, you run it for a year and a half, it doesn't work out, I need a job. Oh my God, as a corporate guy, I would love to hire someone with a year and a half of failed entrepreneurship under their belt. Right? Like, they're better, more aware than people coming out of college all naive and blue sky, right? So let's convince them of that and get better integrated. Under the other category, institutional support, I talk about kind of airline access, not a good subject today. High-speed bandwidth, transportation to key locations. I don't know the city enough, but if there's another pocket of area where there's other entrepreneurs, let's make sure there's a bus line. Let's make sure there's bikes. How do we make sure there's parking? If we're going to double the number of people in this neighborhood, and most of them are going to be younger, like a lot of you, right? I'm not going to pay $15 a day to park my car, right? So those kind of logistical things we can get out in front of. How do we make it frictionless and seamless for entrepreneurs to kind of gather and make sure they have great bandwidth and it always is on, because nothing pisses us off more. By the way, back to the airline stuff. It's hard. I mean, we can't make that happen. But I can tell you, I and a bunch of people put pressure on our city and state government. And sometimes it takes a little bit of money. But we eventually got direct flights to LA, San Francisco. We just added Paris. We already had London. This shit makes a difference. It may not mean anything now, but it's going to mean something in 10 years. So put it on the radar screen. Because the really only direct flight to a major city is Toronto, Vancouver. But we need to talk about things like San Francisco. My last recommendation in this package is let's work on corporations. You all live here. They're neighbors, fathers, brothers, college roommates. They're running companies here. Let's figure out how to get them closer. I don't know what it is. Some corporate day, maybe it's twice a year. Figure out how to bring them here, have an open house, give them free pizza, give them some beer. Beer is the secret to every event. And figure out a way to introduce them to first-time founders to some of the more mature companies. Figure out some funky little speed dating or just fun event. Make it have an agenda, make it not have an agenda, I don't know. But get these corporations and then ask them. Make the ask and pressure them to do something more. So that's 8 of 8. I would like to leave kind of a walk away. My walk away are these 3 things, because everyone can remember 3. Increase the communication, increase the support, increase the trust for each other, and support each other so that we enable each one of us to take a larger role in this ecosystem. Make some key investments, talent space, mentorship, angels, and let's start telling the story in a really good and positive way. That's my gig, man. I'm going to leave this up for, these are the 8 recommendations in order of priority. Thanks for waiting around, eating free pizza from Ragwa and Andrew and team. And appreciate you listening, and let's talk about whatever you want to talk about.